the last shipment.
Hey, calm down. Don't you ever tell me to calm down. You're right.
It seems like every time I would turn on the TV, you were on some huge show. People recognize you, I imagine, because I remember one time we were in a restaurant and somebody came up and said they recognized you. And
Usually Wire fans, a lot of Wire fans out there. Over the years, it just remains a popular show.
so you play this Greek mobster.
Spiros Vandas Vandopoulos.
And in this scene, you had to slit this guy's throat. What's that like? What did they teach you what you have to do?
Pure joy.
Really?
It's part of the job, but I had an idea of what I wanted to do, and I was really happy to kill somebody like that because I had been killed so many times. So it's finally, I don't kill that often. I have a lot of deaths. I don't have that many murders. I've probably done more things with weapons than not. Guns and knives. So I'm very comfortable in that neighborhood. I've worked with a lot of stunt coordinators, a lot of fight scenes. So I'm very versed in physical, violent drama. I've played these killers and murderers and bad guys for decades. You know, it's the nose. It's the nose, Amy.
Yeah.
What was it like for you to be in your 20s, being the executive and like talking to people and telling people what to do? And I'm sure people you were working with were older than you.
I never really gave that much thought to the age that I was. I'm doing something that I love, and this is cool. And I'm working on a studio lot every day. And I was a typical sort of arrogant, young executive who just really, I thought I knew everything. My ethnic makeup and the fact that there weren't a lot of people in high positions who looked like me was something that I noticed, but I didn't dwell on. I just was, just moving ahead like any of my peers would have.
Are you involved with The Bachelor?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Now, I'll tell you a great story about The Bachelor. We had the first pitch of The Bachelor. This was when my first stint at Telepictures. It was like 2001. And Mike Fleiss and his agent at the time, Michael Camacho, and some other people came in to pitch the show. And I was in the room, and Paratori was in the room. I think my friend Alan Sachs, who was head of business affairs, was there. Hillary Estey, maybe David Auerbach, several people. And so we're all in the room. We hear the pitch. And they tell us what it's going to be, and this guy's going to date 25 women, and now he's going to merge with one, and maybe they'll get married. And so we hear the whole thing, and as happens in those pitches and things like that, a lot. There's a lot of, oh, this is great, this is awesome, and then sometimes when people leave the room, when the people presenting leave the room, everybody looks at each other and is like, what? Can you believe these bozos bringing us this? And so, in that situation, everyone was gushing about that. Oh, this is the greatest thing. Now, this was 2001. This is the greatest thing. This is going to be amazing. And I looked at Paratori and I said, Jim, let me tell you something. I'm just going to tell you this straight out. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. It's going to run 2 cycles and we're going to lose money on it. I'm just going on the record right now. So I tell that story because it speaks to my creative chops or lack thereof.
You and I actually worked together years ago, many years ago, on the Rachael Ray show.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk to you about that because that was a very interesting show to work on. And I know you worked on it for the entire run, I think.
Yeah. I missed the very first half of the first season, but since then, I was there the whole time.
So that's incredible. I mean, that never happens.
But it was really fun. I found that I loved working with chefs. I love their personalities. We did a whole episode that was about the Guinness Book of World Records and trying to break records on the show. And for anyone who doesn't know, Guinness is very specific and their rules are airtight. And they send someone to adjudicate, and it's very serious. So we were having Buddy, the cake boss, come, and he was gonna frost the most cupcakes in a minute. And the cupcakes needed to be a very specific diameter. And I had told his team over and over again, remember, these cupcakes need to be this size. You guys are bringing the cupcakes. They need to be this size. And they were going to bring like 100 cupcakes or something, like something crazy. So we, had enough. And they got there and those cupcakes were not the right size.
Oh my gosh.
And we didn't have time to make cupcakes. And so I had every person that was not working on the show we were taping that morning, I had about half the staff calling bakeries in the area. I had half the staff running around town with rulers and measuring. I said, buy a cupcake, buy a muffin. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it comes frosted. We will take the frosting off, but you have to measure it and make sure it's the size. And meanwhile, they're all doing that. I'm dealing with the Guinness World Records people trying to come up with what other records could he break? Like, can we break a record for how many eggs he can crack in a minute? I can go buy eggs. That's no problem. Can we break a record for how many sprinkles he can fit on the top of a cupcake? Like what can we do? And ultimately we had a very strange array of muffins and cupcakes, and they were all different colors and everything, but they were the right size. We got enough. We broke the record. We did it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like a crazy all hands on deck and you've just got to find a solution, and you don't have time to dilly dally. You just got to find an answer.
Yeah.
Kobe was a fresh-faced rookie in 1996 when I met him. He had just come out of high school, 18 years old, and all of a sudden there he is on my set during Lakers Media Day. And like any young player or a new player I hadn't met before, traded player, I went to introduce myself to him, and he put his hand out and he looked me straight in the eye while shaking my hand. He said, "Well, I know who you are." And I said, I thought he was being kind of a smart ass, quite frankly. I said, I don't know how you could, because we've never met before. And he said, well, I had all your posters in my room growing up. And I said, really? And he said, yeah, the posters of Jordan and Magic and Isaiah and all the guys that I studied growing up, they were all your posters. So here's a kid who studied like every, back in the day, ink drop of a poster, and he recognized my name. It just was mind-blowing. So that's when the relationship started, and I knew it was going to be very special because I saw a little bit in him at that age, what I was like at that age, but I saw this kind of drive and ambition in him that really struck a chord with me. So we had a great relationship behind the scenes, mutually respectful. What I always loved about Kobe was that he gave back so much respect to me because of what I did, and it really helped me and fueled me. He was very close to the best. He'd never let anyone except me see his private workouts that he would do with just him and his trainer. Even his own teammates and the Lakers training staff never saw some of these workouts, quite frankly.
We're back with Kobe Bryant. This is his book. It's called The Mamba Mentality. It's how I play. Who took the photographs?
Bernstein, man. Andy Bernstein is in the Hall of Fame. If you've seen any picture in the NBA that you absolutely love, he took that picture. And this guy is a legend.
There's 4 pillars of the Mamba mentality. These are coming right from him, right from our book. The last pillar is strength, is just overcoming adversity, learning from failure, embracing failure. Kobe embraced failure. I mean, I had never heard that term, honestly. But he said, that's the only way I get better, is if I fail. If I don't hit the last second shot, I have to figure out why that happened so it won't happen again.